Hey everybody and welcome back. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames and this is Demon Souls, The Red Pill, Episode 2. We're playing Demon Souls and our topic of conversation throughout this playthrough is going to be the Red Pill, specifically the Manosphere Red Pill, based on the book and content of the author Rollo Tomasi. The Rational Male is the name of the book. I'm Fox, as I mentioned, and when last we left off, we completed the first part of the game, leveled up, upgraded our longsword, and stored our stuff with, what's Stockpile Thomas here? There is a way to basically cheat and get an unlimited number of items. We're not going to do that right now, although later on, in order to avoid wasting time farming, we might do that to get basic grasses, so that we don't have to waste time farming. But I just thought I'd let you know ahead of time. Let you know what we're doing. It involves a bug with Stockpile Thomas. I'm not sure... Well, it involves a bug with the blacksmith and Stockpile Thomas. A very specific bug or glitch. I'm not sure if it works in the emulated version of Demon Souls, but I imagine it will. By the way, this version of Demon Souls is being emulated on my PC. I don't have a PS3 anymore, so I have to emulate it. And we're playing at 1920 by 1080 resolution and 60 frames per second. Today's drink of choice is hot black coffee. If you drink your coffee with sugar in it, I recommend you stop. Milk or cream is okay, although be aware milk has lactose sugar in it. I recommend absolutely no sugar whatsoever. Oh well. Refined sugars are just terrible for you, as a general rule. So I would discourage you from doing so. Oh, we can buy the shard of hardstone and sharpstone. You know, I forgot about that. So any shards we need, we'll buy from that guy right there. We could farm souls and then buy them. Alright guys, Stone Fang Tunnel. You ready for this? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, and run on through. Grab that item and move it. The Red Pill. So we've been talking about masculinity, men's issues, and how men should function in a very, very new and different society from the one that men have typically been a part of in the past. Women have adapted to a new way of functioning in terms of gender dynamics. Men typically have not. Unfortunately, well-meaning or not, we as men continue to raise our boys into men using the precepts, the concepts of the old system without even realizing that we're putting them at this extreme disadvantage. In the old social contract, essentially a man dedicated himself to one woman, took care of her, worked outside the home to pay for all the bills. She stayed at home and raised the kids, and she was loyal to him till death do them part. That was the illusion, at least. Of course, yes, men and women often did run off and cheat on each other. Women quite frequently did it and then kept it secret. So there was this illusion that the cheaters were all the men and the women were not cheating. It's never been true. But the old social contract included the two staying together. Now, under the new social contract, women can leave anytime they want to, and they can take the man for just about everything he has. They can take him for hundreds of dollars of alimony a month, perhaps thousands. Then they can get him for hundreds, even thousands of dollars a month for child support for the children. They get the house and the car and all this other stuff. Things are getting better. Family court used to be 100% anti-man. Now it's only like 75% anti-man. So it's still a meat grinder for men. It still is in most Western societies, including Canada, the UK, America, United States, where I live. But the goal of the Red Pill is to get you to see your own value, your own worth, and how to navigate a brand new, very different sexual landscape, dating landscape, a very different marriage landscape. It's not like it used to be. Okay, guys? It is not like it used to be at all. Women will take you for everything they can. They will not care. They won't give a shit. They'll hire the best lawyer they can to take you for every last cent they can get out of you. And guys, you've been raised to care about her even after she screws you over and cheats on you and, you know, all this other stuff. So you got to make sure that you approach this realistically and with an idea of how things are actually working in the real world. And one thing to keep aware of is, no, she won't continue to care about you after filing for divorce. She will use and abuse you as best she can. You also need to realize men are always assumed to be the perpetrators and women are always assumed to be the victims, even when the exact opposite is true. Women use what's known as legal abuse as one of their main ways of abusing men. They use the court system that favors women to abuse, control, and harass men, take their money, control their behavior and activities, get bogus protection orders, get bogus domestic violence charges on them. So just be aware of that. This is what the red pill is about. The red pill is about literally saving men's lives because a lot of men end up killing themselves over the difficulties of this new landscape. And although I would never do that, that's not something that I would consider. I don't believe in suicide. I don't think it's any sort of solution or answer. I mean, I guess if you were trapped in some horrible torture dungeon with no hope of escape, being tortured for weeks on end, and your only expectation was continued torture, only under that circumstance would it ever make sense. I don't think suicide is ever a good solution for modern day problems because there are... Oh, I got smacked right in the face. Okay. Because there are always better ways to take care of those issues. There are a lot of solutions to temporary problems, so I think we should look to those. And the red pill is a solution to the reason a lot of men contemplate suicide. The red pill teaches you that divorce is often inevitable. You can't save your marriage by being a nice guy. It teaches you that you can't save yourself from the potential of divorce by just being a really, really nice guy or being a really good guy or making sure to work really hard or making sure to, quote, treat her right and then she won't leave you. The red pill teaches you that women can and do leave for any reason, anytime they want, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. And so the solution to that is to the best of your ability, not get involved with women that you don't 100% trust as far as, you know them, but you can't 100% trust any woman, really, or any person, for that matter. In the last episode, we talked about how to maintain your frame. That was episode number 1. We're going to continue to do that. And in here, we're specifically discussing... Hang on. Your goals, ambitions, mission, your focus, things of that sort. Last time we talked about the 4 Fs. Really worth emphasizing. Food, fitness, finances, and fashion. You want to get those things in order. And once you've got those 4 things in order, you're sitting really good for finding yourself a higher quality woman. Now, some people say there's no such thing as a quality woman, that men create the quality of women. To some extent, that's true. You will determine the quality of the woman that you're with by the way you behave, by the way you act, and by what you tolerate from her. However, yes, there are better quality women out there than others. Some women are much better than others. You never ever want to date a narcissist or a borderline personality disorder woman or a woman with bipolar disorder. People may think, well, that's unfair. Like, how is she supposed to meet anybody if no one's ever going to date her? Well, I don't know. That's her problem, right? Don't destroy your life sacrificing it for a woman that doesn't care about you. I never remember which side this bridge falls apart on. Is it this side? Nope. Other side. Okay. Whatever. We do want to fall down here eventually to get that item, and then we can just come back up. Not a big deal. I just wish I hadn't gotten hit by that fire. That does a lot of damage. Those are what's known as the fat officials, the ones with the hats. They are very tough. They hit very hard with their melee. They hit very hard with their fireballs. And you can't always stagger them. They sometimes go into what people call hyper armor mode, but that's a really stupid term. I don't know why anyone would use the term hyper armor. What you're really talking about is poise, the ability not to be staggered. Armor is really about giving you defense, not giving you poise, necessarily. So, no, I don't believe in the term hyper armor as being useful or accurate. You gonna shoot me? Bro? Bro, you gonna shoot me? And he can hit you again really quickly. Alright, here we go. Oh, I'm glad I put my shield up. I thought I was gonna walk around him, but nope, didn't work. You can stagger him some of the time, but not all of the time. And what sucks is you do not have... There is no plunge attack in this game. You just gotta kind of deal with it. The plunge attack is very useful. Let's pull this lever to activate, I believe, the elevator. Or open up that portcullis. Okay, not the elevator. Elevator's for later. These guys are extremely weak to piercing attacks. So if you have a hammer, they're going to be a lot tougher. But if you have a sword or something sharp that you can pierce them with, like a rapier, like this attack right here does massive damage to them. 101, 15. See? So pierce attacks, major damage to them because they have very scaly skin. So types of attacks do a lot more or less damage in Demon Souls based on their defenses. Oh, that was my bad. Yeah, see, that's a 28, but if I do this attack, bam, 100. Serious damage. I meant to hit him, not push him. The ones carrying sacks will always drop upgrade materials, so be aware of that. And kill all the ones with sacks, for sure. So, we talked about those 4 Fs. Now we talk about demanding respect for yourself. And the way you... And I really shouldn't use the term demand respect. What I should say is command respect. The way you do that is, number 1, you respect yourself first. People know when you don't respect yourself. They can tell. They can tell by the way you talk about yourself and other people. They can tell by the way you act, and they can tell by the way you treat others. If you respect yourself first, it's easier for other people to respect you and see that you respect yourself. The other thing, too, is you can command that level of respect by the way you talk about yourself. Self-deprecation. I'll only use it in an obviously humorous context and only when appropriate. Of course, figuring that out is easier said than done, but as a general rule, don't self-deprecate in front of women. Don't self-deprecate in front of a woman you're interested in. Don't make fun of yourself. Don't put yourself beneath her verbally. Do not tell a woman, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm such an idiot, I'm so stupid, I can't believe, I'm so thankful you're with me, I'm such a bumbling moron. Don't self-deprecate like that. Rollo Tomasi talks about that in his book. That's where I get a lot of these concepts from. That and the general manosphere community. Also, another way to command respect is by not tolerating disrespect towards you. If someone is being disrespectful towards you, don't laugh at it. Don't find it funny and interesting. Don't entertain the notion. I know a guy at work, and I talked about this in a previous Dark Souls episode. Although it bothers him when people are acting very disrespectful towards him, saying things, making fun of him, he pretends like he's cool with it, and he laughs about it, but then gets mad because he's trying to be everyone's buddy. Don't try to be everyone's buddy. If someone's being rude to you, if someone's disrespecting you, number 1, don't laugh. And number 2, don't give it a positive response. Don't let them think it's okay. Don't try to make them feel comfortable. Leave them in their discomfort. And for some people, this is hard. If you're the guy who has trouble saying no, if you're Mr. Nice Guy, you don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. You're always worried about how other people feel. A lot of women have this problem. They're always worried about how someone else feels. They're always trying to make someone else feel good, and they'll let themselves feel bad to achieve that goal. If somebody is disrespecting you and mocking you and it's not for fun, they're not just jostling with you, they're not just being a guy jockeying around, they're literally mocking you, making fun of you, one of the best things you can do is look at them, give them a stern look, and then look away and go about your business. This sends a message. It basically says to them, no, I don't find that funny, I'm not entertaining it. Let's kick this thing down there and see if it'll burn. Burn! No. By the way, you can try to go down there and roll through the damage. Don't. Don't. It's much easier to just turn off the switch. You'll deactivate... Aww. What? Did they all fall in there? Seriously? You can deactivate that lava or turn the lava off or drain it or whatever, and then you don't have to worry about it. And you can get all those items down there. So, don't entertain true, negatively intended malicious insults and attacks against you. And you should be able to tell the difference most of the time. You know, if someone is being silly, like some guy's making a joke, like some guys still make jokes about being gay. I know millennials and younger people hate that, but it's still a thing. Understand when somebody is mocking you for the purpose of just being silly to try to, like, butter you up, be your friend. Because guys do that. They make fun of each other. They poke fun at each other. You just have to kind of feel out the difference. And if it's someone you don't know doing it to you, well, it's harder to gauge that. If it's someone you know, then you can probably be a better judge of whether you think they're being truly malicious, whether they're trying to be negative towards you, or whether they're just goofing off. I would not ever lose my cool with it. Don't like flip your shit and be like, hey, you can't talk to me like that. People tend to see that as sort of like childish, or they got to you, and the immediate response they're going to give you in front of everyone, it's going to make you look weak, is, dude, chill out, man. It's just a joke. Well, you can't take a joke? Relax, dude. This, you know, and everyone else around you, unless they're really good friends with you and don't like the guy, they're going to want to agree with him because it's just more comfortable in a social setting to think that, no, he wasn't insulting you. He was just jostling with you, man. It's all cool. Don't worry about it. So everyone's going to sort of take that position of, it's all good, don't worry about it, everything's cool. So that's why I recommend the stare down. The brief stare, the look away, the no response. Also, if you get mad about it, you're indicating to that person, hey, this bothers me. And if their goal is to bother you, then why would you indicate to them, hey, by the way, this does bother me, so keep doing it? It's clear to me that if you want to bother somebody and they indicate to you what bothers them, then it's likely they're going to keep doing that very thing that they indicate bothers them. So the solution is to not indicate to them that it really bothers you. Or at least not give a reaction that they find interesting. Here's the other blacksmith. He can upgrade basic weapons. He can also do special boss upgrades, I believe. Okay, so if you do a quality upgrade, if you take a look at the stat bonuses on the longsword, it's, let's see, the letter D grade in strength and E in dexterity. If you do a quality, it'll even those out completely. Well, not completely, but mostly. It'll kind of even out strength and dex. That's why in Dark Souls, when people make a build based around both strength and dexterity, they often call it a quality build. They call it that because it comes from Demon Souls. I'm going to keep the longsword as is. We need one more hardstone. Large hardstone. That we can't buy. Darn it. Okay. So, guard break reduction is your stability in this game, by the way. Let's go over here and grab this item. I think I missed like another lizard somewhere. I let it run away. But that's life, right? Can't get them all. Can't get all the lizards or geckos or whatever they are. Interesting that there's a switch here. I guess you can get here without activating the elevator first, because then you'd activate it from down here, I suppose. So this does not appear to put you on it by default. You will have to actually run up on it. There we go. This opens up essentially a shortcut between several areas. That right there is the beginning. That right there is just an item. And this right here is where we go to get back to the top of the elevator. All right. So, commanding respect, self-respect. I've got an entire episode on self-respect coming later, known as irrational self-confidence. Self-confidence is not the exact same thing as self-respect, but it's pretty closely related. I don't think most people are going to be very confident if they have no self-respect, and I don't think most people are going to have much self-respect without having some degree of confidence. They're not the exact same. See, for some reason that just didn't stagger him. I don't know why. The other thing about maintaining your frame, you get your life in order. You get your food in order. You get your fitness in order. You get your finances in order. You get your fashion in order. You're looking great. You're feeling great. Your finances are sitting pretty as much as they can. You've got some extra money in the bank. You get yourself a decent car that kind of reflects who you are as a person. It's kind of an extension of your personality, and it's sort of like an identifying factor about you. I think is an important thing, at least in the United States. But if you live in a place where public transit is far more common, then having a car might not be a big deal. But if you do get a car and you have enough money for it, make sure the car kind of represents your personality, represents who you are. Like, people should see you in that car and feel like the car fits you and your personality and what you want and what you like. That does not mean that you need to go out and buy a Lamborghini. If I were given a Lamborghini, I would turn around and sell it and buy a Honda Civic Type R and spend the rest of the money on other things. So, save some of it, of course. You also want to be investing in your retirement. Roth IRA is a great way to go. You can set that up yourself. Don't need to go through any job for that. You can set it up at home over the internet. I recommend that you do that as soon as you start working, you start putting some money away. The market usually gains more than most debts incur. If you have a debt, let's say it's a student loan debt and it's at like 4.5%, the market will typically gain more than that. So you can gain more money by investing in the market than you can by paying that debt off sooner. So it'd be a good idea to invest in the market right away. And do that through a Roth IRA. That's my recommendation. Anyway, those are the 4 Fs. We talked about those. Another thing here is that beyond that, you want to make sure that you have some goals, some ambitions, some dreams, although those aren't as important. And then some, let's see here, some short-term goals as well. So you don't just want your goal to be, well, my goal is to be a millionaire. I mean, have some goals in between. Have some idea of how you're going to get there. Have some idea of where you're going, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Where are we? Right here. Okay. Well, there you go. We done fell down. You want to have small goals. You also want to have your own hobbies, your own other things that you're doing. Like me, I'm writing a book. I'm working through that. Maybe for you, it could be a blog. To me, I also have this YouTube channel. If all I did were to play video games just for fun, and then that was it, and then I'm done. I just play a game for an hour or two, and then I'm finished. That's okay, a hobby to have. It's harder to have a hobby of video games around women because video games get associated with losers and stay-at-home, basement-dwelling neckbeards, and that's not a fair association at all. Nearly every man above the age of nearly every boy and every man under probably around 45 is playing video games, and probably even beyond that. I think the average age of a gamer is somewhere around like 35. So the notion that video games are for kids is not true, and it has never been true worldwide. In Japan, video games have always been a hobby for all ages. Businessmen would play video games. You know, they get home, take off their business suit from the office, and play Dragon Quest. So just something to be aware of is you don't have to give up video games entirely, but just be aware of the stigma already associated with it, because you're going to have to deal with that. You may have some women that just don't believe that real men play video games. You've got men out there in the red pill community that anytime they say anything about video games, it's always referring to losers who play video games, losers who waste time in video games. Of course, these are the same guys who'll spend, two and a half hours, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a week watching sports games on TV or binging the new series on Netflix, and yet they don't connect that with wasting time on video games. So if video games are a waste of time, I don't see how binge watching a TV show on Netflix isn't equally a waste of time, if not more so, since at least with a video game, you're contributing something to it. You're actually doing. You're not just passively absorbing the entertainment. In my case, I'm not just playing the game. I sometimes live stream. I record videos and upload them. I talk about subjects. I use it for something. There's something going on with it. It's not just video games for video game's sake for me. I make it a worthwhile hobby that has a return on the investment. These guys are really tricky. Yes, they're very difficult to fight because they just kind of wiggle all over the place. And it's hard to gauge when you're going to hit them. Oh, see? Yeah, it just attacked over him, which is complete and utter bullshit. But that's kind of one of the things about these Souls games. When your attacks just go over an enemy. Come here. There we go. Cheese him on that edge there. How about that? You can also get fire weapons in this game, although I think that does remove all the scaling. Let's try that again. Oh, come on now. Oh, what a piece of garbage. Come on. Seriously? I'm gonna need some more grasses. Oh, that's such bullshit. These attacks are such bullshit. And you get hurt just by touching them, so yeah. Alrighty, there we go. Anyway, so having your goals, ambitions, dreams, whatever they may be, short-term goals, you want to have financial goals. You want to have goals for hobbies, things you want to accomplish. I think I already came up that way. You should not be simply just kind of moseying on through life. Just kind of whatever, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on, and who knows, and maybe this will happen, maybe that'll happen. Maybe I'll get lucky and find a good job someday. No, you want to seek that stuff out. It's very attractive, especially to women, but even other men in a non-sexual way. It's very attractive for them to see a man who has a mission, who has goals in life, who's going somewhere, who has direction, who has a plan, who is actually out there trying to get stuff done. Are those dead ones? Are they dead? They look dead. So how do you do that? Well, that's something only you can do. That's the problem with the red pill. A lot of it, you just have to do it. Part of red pill is also what they call game, and that is how to talk to and interact with women. I would never... I'm not into the whole pickup artistry movement of like just trying to get chicks to sleep with them for the night. That's not my thing. Maybe it's because of my age. I'm closing in on 40 years old, so I feel like if that would have been a stage of my life, it's gone now. So I never participate in it. Oh well. If you're, let's say you're like in your early 20s and that's a thing for you. You want to go out there and see how many women are out there. Golly. This game does have some of that classic Souls bullshit in it, doesn't it? All right, let's do that. I'm gonna need some more healing available to me. Alrighty. No timing. There is no poise in this game, so that's a problem. Poise, I think, was one of the best things that they added to the Souls series after Demon Souls. Just being staggered by everything is such a pain in the ass. There we go. Cheesed the hell out of him, but it still worked. Open up another platform. So why do these cutscenes work and other cutscenes not work in the emulator? Because this is not a true cutscene. This is in-game graphics. This is the in-game engine rendering what you see. So a true cutscene is pre-rendered. A cutscene is pre-rendered ahead of time. It is not the game's internal graphics. It was rendered and basically plays like a video file. That's the difference. All right, so remember I told you we could cool off or drain or whatever the fire area. That's exactly what we've done here, though now I'm getting turned around, so let's try that again. Here we go. And now we can get down there and collect all the goodies that before were not available to us because it was just too fiery. They've fallen into the ground. I'm not sure if that's Demon Souls by default or the emulator. Some good stuff down. Oh, you know what? We need to go get that ring in the first area. The ring we didn't pick up the first time. By the way, in this game, rings have weight. So, I think... Do they add to equipment burden? No. Okay, that one didn't at least. You can take a shower here if you're stinky. And I think we got everything. Yeah. Alright, let's go this way. So when you're setting up your goals, ambitions, and mission, and life and all that, career and finances should be one of them. Figure out what you're going to do. Hobby should be one of them. Figure out what you like to do in your spare time. For you, maybe video games since you're watching this. Maybe it's fishing. Maybe it's playing a sport. I would make sure that the hobby you pick is in some way productive. It produces something. I don't think it's a good idea to have a purely... what's the word I'm looking for? Consumption hobby? Consumative? I don't think consumative is a word, but I think you know what I mean. I wouldn't have a hobby that's based purely on consuming because I think that you're just not going to get a lot of respect that way. People don't respect someone's hobby that's just nothing more than, oh, I just sit here and absorb. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that your hobby is watching Netflix. I definitely wouldn't say that. But your hobby could be live streaming games and communicating with people on that and receiving donations. I wouldn't say that my hobby is watching sports. But let's say you participate in fantasy football and you're on your own sports team. You play with friends or something of that sort. But yeah, that's a lot more respectable as a hobby. Or fishing because you're doing something. Or martial arts, doing and learning something and growing as an individual. All of these things carry a lot more respect and are a lot more attractive than I sit on the couch and watch something. Or I sit on the couch with a controller in my hand for hours. And that's all. Now, some guys talk about your online presence. They say, don't be on Snapchat. That's for girls. And don't do this. That's for girls. And, to some extent, some of that may be true to a certain extent. I think you do need to be careful. Don't give the appearance that you're on Snapchat because she is. Be careful with that. Don't give her the sense that she's been leading and you're just kind of following her, whatever she does. But I think it's perfectly fine to have an online presence. I think social media is fine as long as you know how to use it. I think we should talk about how to use it, not whether to use it. Because for most people, if you don't use social media at all, you're really going to be out of the loop. There are a lot of people that you're not going to know about people's birthday parties and family events if you're not on social media. You're just not going to know about it. I know that I have a friend that will have parties for their kids, and I want to go to those with my son. I will not find out about them if I get off Facebook. She only sends that stuff out over Facebook. So, something to be aware of. Also know that in the Red Pill community, you will see a lot of guys be very judgmental over what other guys are doing. One aspect of the Red Pill is maintaining your frame. So be aware that although they don't know they're doing it and they don't think they're doing it and they wouldn't say they're doing it, they're doing the exact thing they tell you people shouldn't do, which is to basically attack your frame. They're going after your frame. They're telling you that your frame is wrong, you shouldn't do that. This is somebody else telling you as a man what you need to do instead of you deciding for yourself. Now, the goal here is for you to figure out when you do need to change something and when you should just maintain in the face of statements and attacks to the contrary. We'll just wear the Ring of Poison. Why not? And then, although I don't normally use a lot of this stuff, we'll use it this time. How about that? Although one thing I don't like is when you accidentally switch from your healing to another item. That's what I love about Bloodborne, is that you only ever have healing on one button. And although it's hard to get used to at first, once you're used to it, you don't have to worry about accidentally using a different item when you mean to use a healing item. This is probably not the best time to use that, actually. I probably should have waited. Yeah, I definitely should have waited. I just probably wasted this entire sticky white stuff. Yeah, that's what it's called. Dang, are we gonna use that fire attack or not? When is he gonna do his super fire attack? Maybe I'm not baiting it properly. Oh, dang it. Oh, you can't roll with that webbing on you. I guess I gotta go out here to bait it. I didn't realize that. Sorry, guys. Oh shit. It's been so long. Let's get in there. Okay, come on. Come on! Ugh! Do your swipe down. Oh shit! What just happened? That didn't hit me. Bullshit. Okay, now we just gotta run! Run! I think this is the only safe place from that, I believe, is to get deep into the tunnel. I think, at least. I'm not 100% sure about that, so... yeah. Fuck. Come on! Lay off the bullshit, souls. Less bullshit, please. Less bullshit, more game playing. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. If you stand right in the middle, that attack right there doesn't hit you. Okay, and let's run from that and come back in. I'm just not sure how far to run. I wasted a bunch of time at the beginning. Oh well. What the fuck? Come on. Not even close to the visual representation of it. Not even close. Come on now. Right in the middle. There we go. I switched to two-handed because we'll do more damage that way. Then go back to the shield. Let the stamina regenerate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Oh, shit. I didn't know he was going to go back to that. Oh, we got him now. Alright. I just forgot how to do this fight. Once I figured it out, it wasn't that bad. That's how long it's been, guys. I do remember there's an item in here, though. I think just 1. Oh, no, 2. But this one you have to defeat him first to get to. Chunk of Spider Stone. So many upgrade materials in this game. A ton. A lot more than Dark Souls. So, interesting. Although I don't think all of them are of equal value in any context. Some of them are just better than others. I think the most unique upgrade path in Dark Souls is the raw upgrade path because it has very limited utility. All right, let's see if we can get this up. Yep. All right. We're at +6. That is, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. We will start upgrading the kite shield, but before we can do that, we got to go buy some. So we're going to go buy some hardstone with the merchant. If you can have a career where you're making good money, and you can have a side hustle, as they call it, where you make money doing something hobby related, that's great. That's not bad at all. Like we said, it's definitely recommended that you know, I probably bought way too much, but whatever. I should have leveled off some of that. It's definitely recommended that if possible, you combine hobby and finances. In terms of gaining finances, not just spending. Most hobbies cost you. It'd be great to have a hobby that can actually generate revenue for you. Something that you enjoy. If you turn it into a career, probably not going to enjoy it in the same way. There's a difference between a career, a hobby that becomes a career, and a hobby that just makes you money on the side. You know, if you like to just stream games on the side on Twitch and make a little money doing it, that's not the same as, you know, streaming 5 to 7 times a week because it's your sole source of income and you just got to keep streaming to make money. Then there's that pressure that if you stop doing it for even a brief period of time. Let's see. I don't think I need the armor spider for anything or the phalanx. Yeah, let's use that one. Only gonna get like what, 2 levels off that, or 1 level possibly? Wait. Let's level up endurance and strength. Alright, there we go. Okay. So, we're not done with this episode yet. Let's go see if we can get that ring real quick. Phalanx Archstone or Boletarian Palace? Phalanx Archstone. I can't remember exactly where it is. We may have to make a beeline for it real quick here to get it done in a decent time frame. By the way, there are some upgrade materials right up there, but we'll get them soon. It wouldn't be a bad idea to go grab them now, but we've got other things we're looking to do. So, in addition to having your goals and mission in life, things you want to accomplish, your financial goals, of course, retirement accounts and all of that jazz, it's recommended, highly recommended, that you have your own set of values and beliefs. Because when you get out there, especially in the dating market, you're going to meet women that will have theirs. Feminism pushes women to do and believe in a lot of different things. Feminism will corrupt, to some extent, pretty much all women in Western society. It's almost impossible not, as a woman, not to be corrupted in some form by feminism. It is just this all-encompassing force. It's everywhere. The influences of feminism are everywhere. It's just a highly toxic ideology that teaches just so much garbage and lies and sets women up for failure and misery. And it will have affected any woman that you're gonna meet, most likely. So, you know, it's a good idea to be aware of that stuff and to not fall for it. You know, because if you meet a woman and she's a hardcore feminist, what do you do about that? Do you just go, oh, okay, well, that's her thing, that's cool? Or do you have your own sets of beliefs and values that conflict with that, and you say, you know what, I can't support a hardcore feminist. That ideology is just bad. It hurts men, it hurts boys especially. It's bad for families. They push lies and half-truths. That's me. I wouldn't tolerate a hardcore feminist. Someone that has a few feminist values, well, feminism isn't 100% wrong. It's just mostly wrong. It's just correct enough in some ways to get most women to buy into it, and then wrong enough in most ways to be toxic and dangerous and unhealthy for everyone. Feminism destroys lives and families and boys and girls and everything in between. So, if you have your own values and your own set of beliefs, you don't fall for that stupid shit. You know? Like, one thing about me is I don't believe whatever's just peddled out by the news. You know, global warming is a perfect example. Most people think that if you don't believe in global warming, you're some anti-science nutcase. You're just a crazy person. You believe that the earth is flat and that the world was created in 4,000 years or something like that. Me, I look at the evidence. All of these predictions about what should be happening in the world based on global warming or climate change, whatever they want to call it now, just isn't happening. The most recent one was that they had to change signs at this park, some national glacier park in the United States. They had to change the signs because the signs were talking about how by the year 2020, these glaciers will no longer exist. Well, guess what, guys? It's 2020 and the glaciers are there and they're just fine. They're absolutely fine. So now they got to get rid of or modify these signs because the signs were totally wrong. But does that mean that they correct their incorrect predictions and that they back down off all this nonsense about global warming, the world's falling apart, and we're all going to die in 12 years? No. Instead, they just double down on it, they modify it and change it, and they change it just enough to try to keep the illusion going. When you have to constantly change every aspect of your hypotheses because they keep turning out to be wrong over and over and over again, maybe you should question the foundational hypothesis that it's based on. The notion that the world is continuing to warm, or that there's catastrophic man-made climate change, because that is just not supported by the evidence. It's just not. Also, the same people telling you that the world's going to end in 12 years if we don't radically change everything in a way that cannot be changed because it's just not going to ever happen and couldn't happen. These same people that are telling you that in 12 years the world's going to end and all this crap are investing in real estate that won't pay dividends until 20, 30 plus years into the future. They're investing in things that will take decades to happen. If you know the world's going to end in 12 years, would you make a 25-year investment in a rental property? Of course not. But that's what they're doing. They have plans that go out decades into the future. They're not worried about the world ending in 12 years. Believe me, they're not. Because they know it's not going to. And you should know that too. You should know it's all a bunch of scare tactics. It's climate change hysteria. That's one of my beliefs. And because I have that firm belief based on the evidence and the proof that's out there, I don't fall for all the global warming, climate change bullshit that gets spewed constantly all over the place. It doesn't faze me. Now, if you don't believe that, if you don't have a firm belief, if you're just of the mindset of, well, whatever they tell me, it must be true. I mean, these are experts, right? They must know, right? You're going to fall for it. You're going to fall for it every time when they tell you some new dire prediction about how the world's falling apart and polar bears are going extinct. I remember when I was in elementary school, they pushed the myth that polar bears were going extinct. There was that famous image of a polar bear on a tiny little block of ice floating in the middle of the water. Oh, all the ice is going away. The polar bears are going to die. Well, 30-some years later, all the polar bears are still fine. They're just fine, and there's still lots of ice. And NASA's measurements have indicated there's now more ice. And I can't remember which pole it was, the North or South Pole. I can't remember. There's now more ice than there was like 20 or 30 years ago. More. Not less. More. And we weren't told there was going to be less. We were told it was going to be pretty much no ice. We were told like it's all going to go bye-bye and it's catastrophic. It's the end of the world. And it just isn't happening. New York and California were supposed to be underwater by like, what, 2014? That didn't happen. How many failed predictions do you need to hear until you will finally say, wait a minute, maybe the basic hypothesis behind all these failed prediction models is flawed? Triple kill. There we go. The good thing about going back through here is we do have the ability to get some more grass. Farmed legitimately. There we go. We got one more over here who's endlessly walking forward. Okay. Actually, did I go this way? Maybe not. Let's see. Where be their dragons? Ow. Damn, that was 3 hits. That dude threw a fire turpentine bomb, whatever, at me. Other dude hit me with a sword. Another dude shot me with a crossbow bolt. Come on now, guys. That's just mean. Ganging up on me like that. Bunch of gankers. I keep thinking they're going to require more than 1 hit, but they don't. So I got to stop hitting more than once. Oh, this is where the merchant would be. But he's moved on since we completed the area. Whoa, that was close. Punk. Tried to blow us up. Did you see that? Okay. We'll figure this out, guys. I can't remember exactly where the dragon area is here. I'm gonna feel like an idiot if it was really close to the beginning area and I'm just running around aimlessly for no reason. Let's go back this way. And what about down there? That's a one-way trip, though. If I jump down there, I can't come back. Immediately, at least. Okay, we're gonna get this guy so he's just not shooting us anymore. Only one bummer, though, is that after they die, they take about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds before they show if they dropped an item or not. And I'd rather it just be instant, so you can instantly see if there was an item dropped. There we go. Like, watch this body. See? That one didn't take too long, but sometimes it just takes a little bit too long to show that there's an item. In my most humble of opinions. So, you get your 4 F's in order, guys. Your food, fitness, finance, and fashion. You're looking good. You're feeling good. Your bank account's sitting pretty. You got your goals and ambitions and mission in life, your career, hobbies, little side hustles if you got them. Things you want to do, places you want to visit in the world. There's the dragon. One of them. One of them won't be there because we completed the area. And I think we get there down this way. Wow. They were so much easier than last time. The difference it makes upgrading your weapon. And I'm sure leveling has helped. To some extent. But again, upgrade that weapon. Oh shit, he is still there. I thought he was supposed to disappear. Oh, he doesn't disappear till you take him to the till you go to the next area, I guess. Yeah, you have to. I think you have to meet him in the next area of Boletaria. Oh, whoa now. But what we need, I think, is right here. Damn, it's not. It's gonna be up there. Shit. I really didn't want to be here in soul and human body form for the potential to die. Running up there to get that. Let's see if we have a shield better equipped to handle fire. You know what? Do these things have fire defense on them? They don't, do they? Okay, they don't list a specific fire defense stat, but I think there are shields that have special fire protection. I don't know if I'm doing this right, guys. Ah, shit. Yeah, purple flame shield. Oh no, that's not the one I want. I think it's right here. Come on. Ah, fuck. Yes, that's it, I think. You know what? That went much better than I expected it to. We do have a lot more health, of course. I'm sure that also helped. Now if we can just get that one. Damn. Okay, I think we can grab it and go. Go! Okay, it's just nothing incredible. Alright, we got it. We're good, guys. We're good. I think we got every item over there, didn't we? Dang, I don't think I've ever actually done that in a playthrough. Get every single item there without at least one of the dragons, or both of the dragons being gone. Raises maximum equipment burden. There's another that raises the maximum amount of items you can carry on you. That's not the same thing. So it's easy to confuse those two rings. One raises your equipment burden, and one raises your total item burden. Two different things. We're going to go back this way. Yes, you're more attractive when you have missions and goals and ambitions and all that good stuff. Maybe also you have something else you're doing, a skill set, like martial arts or an instrument. We talked about those. It could be just about anything. Writing, having a blog, reading. Reading is going to get you a lot more respect, even though it is still a consumptive activity, if that's a way to say that. You are consuming, but still, reading comes with a lot more respect than other forms of entertainment. Because, you know, you're doing something, the idea is that you're learning and growing and absorbing information. That's the concept behind it. Even if the novels are like fantasy novels, and of course there's also like reading books that are designed to help you grow as an individual and learn new things and learn about the world or whatnot. Also, knowing something about how to cook, guys. Know how to cook, know how to clean, know how to take care of yourself, know how to take care of a house, know how to change a tire, know how to change your oil, even if you don't always do it yourself. Know how to do all these things. Know how to basically function in the world by yourself without needing someone else there to guide you through it step by step. If you're the kind of guy that always needs to run to your dad to get everything done, you definitely don't want a woman seeing you do that you're interested in. You don't want a woman knowing that you have to go to your dad, because there's a sense that your dad has a level of masculinity you don't, because he can take care of things that you can't. You know what? How do we get out of here? I am just ready to get on out. Even though I hate using one of these shards, but this is like a homered bone. They're a little more rare in this game, though. Homered bones are much easier to get. Of course, you don't find yourself needing to use them as often, just based on the structure of the world here. I don't think we have any more upgrades for that. What about our kite shield? No, okay, didn't think so. And now we're gonna grab the rest of our armor set. Let's take the fluted helm and the fluted armor. I like this armor set. May not be our final armor set, but we'll see. We can still fast roll, but here's the real question. Can we fast roll with the whole thing? Nope. I didn't think so. But would we rather take off the gloves or the helmet? Let's take the helmet off. The gloves give us 21 physical defense. Is that right? Yeah, so let's see. Which one gives us more? The gloves, I guess, give us more. Interesting. Okay. Well, I like that. We're done with this episode, guys. We finished the next area anyway, defeated the boss, got some stuff, and we'll level up real quick before I forget. Endurance. Thank you. We'll be able to level again after we pop some souls, but we'll do that in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. We talked about the other part of maintaining your frame, or getting it set up in the first place. You can't maintain something that's never been set up, right? Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on social media. Links are in the description. Twitter is where I'm most active. Make sure to click the bell icon next to the subscribe so that you always receive notifications if that's something that you want. Something else to be aware of is that I may start another playthrough concurrent with this one, so I hope that doesn't confuse you if I do. But this has been episode 2 of Demon Souls, the Red Pill. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Leave your comments below. Feel free to make multiple comments too on different topics. Link a time code to the video if you can to a certain part where I'm talking, in case you want to, in case you want me to review what I said in relation to what you said, so we can have a conversation down below. I do read all the comments and love to do so. I love to read your comments, guys. Thanks for joining me again. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames, and I'll see you next time. Later.